crazy times out there. So sad to see what's happening. Prayers and good vibes go out to everybody over in LA. I'm sorry y'all have to go through that, but it's kind of like it feels like a repeat of Maui, just on an even bigger scale now. So it's crazy seeing all that.
Yeah, it does feel like we very deja vu. But this time it's personal. I mean, for us it's personal. We're here. Yeah, I appreciate you reaching out about this immediately, and we were discussing this. But how weird, how odd the timing. We had our discussion about what 2025 was going to look like, working together and having part of this community, and how we can help elevate each other and others that are regular contributors to what we're doing here. And you came to me with this idea about this theme song and putting into lyrics what homeless left means. And you quoted, I mean, maybe you can help tell the story better, or at least just this. I mean, we're teasing people with, because we can't show it yet because it's a work in progress. But the fact that you pulled this Martin Luther King quote and you said this is what feels like represents this voice, the voice of the homeless left, and you use the lyrics. I guess it's hopefully going to be lyrics in this as it's being developed. But the quote is burn the house down. Wait, actually, let me have you say it. You'll say it better for me. The actual quote that you came up with before the fires.
Yeah. So so the quote, at the end of the song is pretty much, "We the homeless left because the house burning down. Time to get outside and build a whole new town." And essentially, what I'm getting at in that quote is that Martin Luther King spoke about the fact that he felt like during segregation, the movement that he was pushing for was trying to integrate Black America into a country that was becoming more and more oppressive, aka it's a burning house. So he wants to get inside the house, but he wanted to get inside the house, but then he realized the house is on fire. So that was my inspiration for the quote. And I remember it was literally Monday night, like last week, Monday night, when I wrote down those lyrics. And then the next day, like the fires started over in LA. So it's crazy, man. But there's power in the tongue, and it's funny because this is the second time something has happened to me like along these lines. When I wrote my song called "Heal the Divide," which was talking about Kennedy's campaign, the original lyrics I wrote actually had called for Julian Assange to be freed, right? And the week I recorded that song, Julian Assange was actually free. And then I had to go back and change the lyrics because I wanted to like make sure it was relevant. So I couldn't say, free someone who's already like out of jail. So I went back and changed the lyrics again. So, you know, um, obviously my words didn't start the fires, but it's just crazy like the timing of it, and it's just even more encouragement for everyone out there. Make sure you're speaking positive, and that was why I'm glad that we went through a few rounds to try to like perfect the lyrics. 'Cause I wanted to make sure it had like a positive message to it overall, and it wasn't just talking about the bad things. And that's why when I went and rewrote the song, I made sure I added a little bit more positivity like in there too, about the goal that we're getting towards. Because yes, the house is on fire right now, but if it's burnt down, we have the opportunity to build back something better. So yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff happening in Hollywood, over in LA. So who knows, maybe this will be an opportunity for a less corrupt situation over there in media overall, in movies, entertainment, and in media overall.
Yeah.
You remember the time when musicians used to rebel against the establishment? Doesn't that feel like so long ago, Matt?
It's so long ago, Jay. The last time we had somebody stand up against the establishment, I, you know, COVID was. Look, we're on YouTube right now. We're on a new channel. I don't give a crap. We're going to talk about this for a moment, but COVID was the moment, a moment of truth. I would say. Who stepped up? I can only think of a handful. You got Eric Clapton, you got Van Morrison, you got Ice Cube did it in his own way. I don't know if he wrote any music, but he certainly was vocal. He walked off. He walked off the set. Why is this important that we name these people? We got to figure out who else. 'Cause I can't think of too many more. But what I can think of, Jay, is I can think of all the people that took the paycheck from Pfizer and made a little appearance on some stupid gimmicky special where they dancing around with vaccine costumes on, and they were going get the shot, whether it was Ariana Grande or whoever the hell, dancing around, telling you what to do. Music is supposed to challenge that. So it was so crazy. Can you think of anyone else? I know I was happy to see Ice Cube, Eric Clapton, Van Morrison. Those are big ones. Is there anyone else to give us some hope? There was somebody else out there at the time.
So there were one or two people. I don't know if anyone remembers Lloyd Banks from G Unit, but he actually spoke about it a little bit in some of his music. Big Sean, who I think most people are familiar with. He is the guy dating Janae Aiko. If you heard of her, he spoke about it a little bit too. But they never really made it like a pressing issue that they wanted to like speak out about. They just kind of mentioned it in passing, in a few of their songs. But Big Sean and Lloyd Banks did speak about it too. But again, they're not actual people who are in the spotlight, I would say, at this point in time. They're not, the people who are getting the most radio play and the most attention. Some people would argue, they're like a little bit on the tail end of their careers. I think, they're still pretty great rappers. They're still releasing music, but they're just not the ones you're hearing on the radio now. When it comes to the radio, like I remember the guy, what's his name? The guy, uh, anyway, they talked about it in songs, man. Like, can't wait to get my shot so I can travel the world again. Like I forget the Tyler Hero song. You remember that song? It's with yeah, it was anyway.
Yeah,
Um, so it's completely gone from counterculture to pushing the establishment,
yeah,
and that's no accident.
yeah. And I'll
And
never. And oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, really quick. I just want everyone, while we're on that topic, I just want everyone to look up the common ownership between private prisons and record labels. And it both leads back to the same corporations that come up all the time, BlackRock, Vanguard. So that's something people should remember.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And that was a time we talked about COVID. We also talked about this pushing of the Ukraine war. We're supposed to have more people against that. So I was reminded of another popped into my head. We got to give a shout out to Roger Waters. I mean, there's a guy who is anti-imperialism, stands up against the whole his whole band, all Pink Floyd, and he says, you know what? I'm on the right side of it. I'm on the side of of humanity, and like that always ages very nicely when you can do that. And I know people don't understand that. Like, do you guys want your tweets to read well years from now? Do you want to be able to be proud of what you fought for and stood up for?
The
Just
internet never
yeah,
forgets.
yeah. Just follow Roger Waters' example. He's always on the right side. You know who's on the wrong side? As far as anti-imperialism goes, they're on the side of pro-imperialism. Paul McCartney. He at the same time, Roger Waters was saying this Ukraine war is a proxy war. You got Paul McCartney going around. He was right here in Orange County, just south of us, going around, just lifting up this big pole with a Ukraine flag, and he was like just struggling it around the stage, and everybody was like, "Yay!" And I was like, "Are you effing kidding me?" If John was alive to see that, he'd be like, Paul, what are you thinking, Paul? This is embarrassing." And Paul would be like, "There's a reason you're dead, John. There's a reason." You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, John's the one that had the courage. You're still alive, lugging a big Ukraine flag around. What type of musician, poet, somebody with a voice are you at the end of your? It's insane to me. But yeah, Roger Waters. Let's add him to that very, very short list.
But thank you, Matt. Let me go jump back to work. Keep doing the great work, and I'll be recording that song this weekend, so your viewers are gonna have some pretty good music to get this vibe up and running.
We love it, Jay. We're looking forward to having you back on and sharing the music, and we're gonna be putting this thing together. It's the house where the homeless left. The house is burning down. Get your ass outside and build a whole new town.
Yeah.
Love it.